Hey, could you buzz off? You don't even want me to have conversations with people, so I'm going to ignore you because you're a punk.
All right, a lot of valuable stuff to learn from this video. This is a video called Punk Cops Attempt to Stifle Discussion. This is from the YouTube channel called Abolitionist Rising, and we're going to focus specifically on this officer right here. This is Officer Greenwood from the Norman, Oklahoma Police Department. The Abolitionist Rising people are anti-abortion, and they're talking in front of a high school to students who want to engage them in conversation. But watch what Officer Green does, or Greenwood.
I care about the living person.
Well, isn't the baby living?
Not really.
How so? He's growing. He's growing. Sir, we're having a conversation. Hey, sir.
Officer, that's really rude.
He doesn't have to think
Hey,
about it.
Like I said, they're giving you guys a conversation.
Hey,
Well, as a man
excuse
telling
me,
me
sir.
what I should do
Can
with
you
my body, look at me.
can you not step in front of me?
I can. So we're having a conversation.
Okay, so anyway,
So now you're trespassing, right? So now you want to be arrested.
don't step in front of me. I'm having a conversation with this young lady. You are standing right in front of me.
You're trespassing right now on our sidewalk, right? This is our.
Okay,
Sir, I appreciate it.
you're worried about 2 inches of chloroplast over a line.
Are you? Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're pathetic. This is what you're worried about
Yeah.
when you're not worried about this. You're so not worried about this.
Our conversation.
You don't even want me to have conversations with people, so I'm going to ignore you because you're a punk.
Whew, pretty intense, right? I bet you're wondering what sort of wild interactions we were having to warrant police interference.
Okay, this baby's a...
And that is what this is police interference by a representative of the Norman, Oklahoma Police Department. But it's not just Officer Greenwood. It's Officer Greenwood. It's the mentality of the entire Norman, Oklahoma Police Department. But I also want to demonstrate the mentality that the Abolitionist Rising group has toward all police. And he voices it in here, and we're going to talk about it.
Okay? I put my... I can't do... the baby looks just like mine. It reminds me everything.
Yeah.
I put it up for...
If you're going to judge the baby...
I'm going into something actually serious. Because
Yeah,
this
yeah.
affects people. You put that... And they come in to find it, or you stay with them, no matter what. The person grows up, finds out who that father is, and finds out they're a baby. And they
Yeah.
have... They're not mom. Either they got put up for adoption. That means they know that their mom couldn't stand them because
Yeah.
they were a baby. So you're putting that onto a Great Depression of somebody else who could lead to
Yeah.
their own self.
I hear what you're saying, but it basically sounds like you're saying just murder them.
No.
Okay, seems like a pretty normal boilerplate conversation to me. But who's this? It's Officer Greenwood, who we've met before, coming to save the day.
Yes,
Just go ahead, take it.
They're looking for a reaction. That's why there's a camera.
Hey, this police officer who I pay... Excuse me, sir. Hey, could you buzz off?
That's all we got.
Hey,
Just don't give them time.
Greenwood.
Keep on walking.
Your job isn't to stop. We were having a conversation.
all you gotta do.
Hey, chill out. Get out of here. Go.
That's all you got to do.
Get out of here. I'm going to call the cops on you. Get out of here. I was having a conversation with her. You came and you interrupted. That was rude.
They're just having a conversation.
I don't care what your badge and your gun.
Appreciate it.
You're a rude, mean individual. Hey,
I really like how he handled that cop. He talked to that cop like he would talk to anybody. No fear, no backing down. Love it.
No, we're done. Thank you.
I know. Hey,
I see this
yes.
over there.
Thank you for talking. Hey, get out of here,
We
man.
don't have a trash can, so it's not like images of
Oh,
that just everywhere.
Images, are the images bad?
I picked it up over there. It was on the ground.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
They're just looking for a reaction.
We're not looking for a reaction. We're looking for conversations with open-minded people who actually can express their views.
The Norman Police Department, as far as departments go, has generally been an excellent police department. From time to time, we get death threats, and the NPD has always taken it seriously, offered advice, and been generally great with us. So believe me when I say we don't want to be at issue with the NPD. We just want to be able to do what we do freely without their unwarranted interference. That's what this video is about, because this guy, Officer Neil Greenwood, has been a problem.
Right. So we believe that people are doing the thing that conceives children, and then they live in a culture where everyone says, oh, just abort the baby. We say, we believe that's wrong. That's murder.
And like I said, this wasn't the first time he's interacted with us.
The property belongs to the city of Norman. We all pay taxes in the city of Norman.
100% do.
You follow what I'm saying? Like, even if they want to trespass us, they actually can't.
You got me.
Look at Greenwood. he's smiling, he's acting like a cordial, nice guy, but tyranny with a smile is still tyranny. Cordial tyranny is still tyranny. Rude tyranny, and that's what he is, rude. He's being rude. And he's also, this is prior restraint. He is keeping them from exercising a right that he is specifically out there to protect.
You good in that one? Yeah. Okay, good.
What I'm telling you is, like, you can't trespass us off of public property. Like, that's a lawsuit for you guys.
It's not going to be for me, right? So,
Well, yeah.
it'll be all right for me.
This cop used to stand out in front of the abortion mill. That guy right behind you. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, he used to stand at the abortion mill.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. I've drawn your picture.
Yeah, you drawing it?
Yeah. I drew a picture of all the different things that happen at abortion mills, including the governing authorities protecting the people who are killing the children.
Cool.
I'm sure your wife and your kids think, well, you're a nice police officer. You serve and protect. Truth of the matter.
So this guy's got to practice. He's got a pattern of doing this. He's got a pattern of interrupting people as they are expressing their free speech right.
The most hypocritical thing is when you're on duty, you drive around in your pretty little police car and act like you're a law enforcement officer, serving and protecting. You're a hypocrite.
Okay, so you admit that it's a baby.
It's a baby. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Kill the baby.
Yeah.
I don't give a
Yeah, you don't give a shit. Yeah, because you're
I care
heartless.
about the living person.
Well, isn't the baby living?
Not really.
How so? He's growing. He's growing. Sir, we're having a conversation. Hey, sir.
Officer, that's really rude.
Officer, that's rude.
No, I just want to know, man.
Officer, your job is to protect little ones. Officer.
Can we do that to him?
What?
Can we walk right in front of him and interrupt like that?
Well, Ben may not want to, but you know Russell's going to test those waters.
He does not. He doesn't have to think about it.
Like I said, they're giving you guys this conversation.
Hey,
Well, as a man
excuse
telling
me, sir.
what I should do
Can
with
you
my body.
can you not step in front of me?
I can't. So we're having a conversation.
Okay. So anyway,
So now you're trespassing, right? So now you want to be arrested.
don't step in front of me.
Now you're trespassing, right?
Hey.
So you want to be arrested for trespassing?
Officer Greenwood, can I have your badge
This
number?
cop is absolutely abusing his authority and trying to intimidate this guy and trying to be petty to position him to be arrested. That is a sick individual. And the Norman Police Department knows this is going on. This guy's got a pattern and a habit of doing this that corrupts the entire Norman Police Department.
You see it right here. You're trespassing, right?
1331. Is that your badge number?
You're trespassing, right?
You are violating my rights.
Don't trespass.
I'm having, listen,
I'm having a conversation with you,
Officer
too, so.
Greenwood, Norman Police Department. I'm having a conversation with this young lady. You are standing right in front of me. He may be allowed to, but it's a rude, immature punk move. He's a punk. He's a total punk. All right, so I was talking to y'all. Hey, listen, I pay taxes in Norman. I appreciate the police. I'm not for the whole defund the police thing, all right? That's not me. But you are using your badge, your authority, and your presence to interrupt my conversations.
But you're trespassing right now on our sidewalk, right? This is our...
Okay.
Sir, I appreciate it.
I'm for defunding tyranny. I don't know if this guy, the abolitionist rising guy, is saying what he's saying as like kind of a strategic move. But there's a couple things. I am going to offer some words of criticism on the abolitionist rising guys too, because you can't turn a blind eye away from the other tyrants who are letting the Greenwood tyrant commit his tyranny against people he's supposed to be protecting and serving. You can't give the rest of his thin blue line buddies a pass.
You're worried about 2 inches of chloroplast over a line.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're pathetic. This is what you're worried about when you're not worried about this. You're so not worried about this, you don't even want me to have conversations with people. So I'm going to ignore you because you're a punk.
I appreciate it, man. You can say that.
You are a punk, dude.
Seems a little silly.
What seems silly? Can you not stand in front of me?
I'm not standing in front of you, sir. You call him a punk?
He is being a punk. Before I call him a punk, I asked him politely a number of times not to get in my way.
Ejaculation motor?
No.
Yeah, but why not?
Ejaculation isn't murder. Do you think there's little human beings inside the sperm?
It's a possibility.
Why is Greenwood just standing there like a hawk, listening to this conversation that has nothing to do with him?
That's not a possibility. You've just flunked biology. It's not a possibility. Human beings are conceived by, see, the moment that a little truth comes out, you run away.
Officer, we're having a conversation. Officer, we're having a conversation.
No, I just wanted to ask him simple questions, and he keeps over talking me. And he's just not making very fair points.
But you guys support abortion. You know that it's nasty.
So even the kids are wanting to have a conversation with the abolitionists. So you got two parties wanting to enter into a mutually consensual conversation, and you've got a third party trying to butt his nose in where he doesn't belong, and he's not wanted by either party.
You know that it's nasty.
You guys upgraded. You guys got a camera over there now. Camera down here, microphones. That's awesome. How come you don't talk to me?
What would you like me to say?
I believe they should be able to choose.
Hey guys, just looking for a reaction from you. That's why there's a camera down that way. Just want to talk. Just don't give him time.
We're just having a conversation here.
What Greenwood kept doing here is not only a punk move and morally wrong, but we believe it's illegal. Public sidewalks enjoy broad First Amendment protections per the Supreme Court's rulings in Hague v. Committee for Industrial Organization and McCullen v. Coakley, which cited a long history of case law, only leaves room for government entities to create content-neutral regulations on free speech in public forums.
Having a conversation.
His warnings to students were also explicitly content biased, making statements about our motivations for being there.
You know that it's nasty.
Don't let them direct your element.
You know that it's nasty.
Again, neither narrowly tailored nor justified by any legitimate government interest.
I don't like it, man, honestly.
How so?
Not at a high school. I've seen you guys at the medieval fairs. I've seen you guys at music festivals. I get it. I mean, those are interactions where we're coming straight out of high school to look at this kind of stuff. That's just tough for me, man.
Obviously, he's allowed to have his opinions, but he shouldn't be acting based on his bias, which is what he was clearly doing. His actions also created a chilling effect, which is unconstitutional per the Supreme Court's ruling in Dombrowski v. Pfister.
If they wanted to engage with you, they would say, hey, Officer Greenwood, I'm talking with you.
So you think
Greenwood's statements about students being able to talk to us if they told him they wanted to forced an affirmative obligation on them to engage with our speech, which violates the Supreme Court's findings in Lamont v. Postmaster General. A high school student will not know this is an unlawful order by a police officer and is not likely to disobey that order, even if Officer Greenwood later, while out of their hearing, affirms they have the right to disobey his order. It creates a barrier to free speech that others must cross in order to engage with said speech.
Amen.
What's funny is that NPD's policies on this are actually pretty good. It's one of the things that we really appreciate about them. They've always treated us with respect and carefully balanced ours and others' rights. That's why we're specifically talking about Greenwood.
You're not even looking at me? Oh, yeah. Okay.
So now you don't just have Greenwood on the scene right here. You got this other cop letting Greenwood be that physical barrier between a guy who wants to exercise his freedom of speech and a young person who could be impacted positively or negatively, depending on what you feel about the message. But the thing is, you have the freedom to express your speech, especially on a public sidewalk, and nobody's got the right to be a barrier against what you're trying to do.
Oh my God.
I've been looking at you for 10 years, man.
I know.
I've drawn your picture, dude.
That's why.
You have been an advocate of silencing free speech from abolitionists for over a decade.
I've been here, man. You know me.
You guarded the abortion mill when it was open. You stood out in front of the abortion mill and you tried to stop us from talking to people there.
How did I stop you?
I remember, man. You used to do the same thing you do here.
By stepping in front of people trying to walk in?
As a police officer,
yes, sir.
The engagement you're doing right now is distracting me, right?
Is it?
Well,
you're engaging with
all right.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, that's what you do.
You're engaging with
You are deeply, like in history, Officer Greenwood, you are a man who has devoted himself to standing up against abolitionists who are doing peaceful, normal things. We both live in Norman. Not all police officers act like you. Some police officers are very aware of the law. They're very kind.
I've always been kind to you, man.
No, dude.
I've never been disrespectful.
I'm not saying you put a smile on and you're nice.
I'm always nice.
But you stand.
It's respectful tyranny. It's kind tyranny. It's tyranny with a smile. Why aren't you accepting my tyranny?
In front.
Gross.
Right?
That's on me.
Yes. That's why I was calling you a punk. Because I was having
Have I ever called you out of your name at all? Ever?
I've never acted a punk to you.
But have I ever?
No, but that's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Officer Greenwood.
When you
shake my hand too. Wow.
Why would I not shake your hand?
I mean, we're up and down.
I'm not mad at you as who you are. I'm saying there were at least 2 conversations that I was having that were going on well, right?
Were they going well though, or is it going back and forth?
Well, we were conversing.
Okay.
And you stopped him. You stopped him.
I just want to make sure
you came in. You stood in. You said something, and by the time I tried to get back to those students,
they were already gone.
They were gone. And you know what?
So
they had the Norman.
They would have stayed.
Listen, they had the Norman Police Department basically stepping in and saving them from a conversation.
Not saving by any means.
Yeah. So I would like to make if you could just call in a complaint. It's just I want to know the law. I'm not trying to be pedantic.
Call my supervisor over here?
Yes. Okay. Because I want to know if the Norman Police Department does have a mandate to interrupt conversations or to block the free expression and exchange of ideas. So a supervisor, because he stopped doing it about the time you got here, but before you got here,
I didn't. Every time I just stepped in front of the lady that was getting all amped up.
No, before. Now you're lying.
I'm saying I did it again.
Stop lying.
I'm saying I did it again.
See, you know you don't like when I call you names, but if you lie, I can call you a liar.
I've been called names all my life, man. So I could care
I'm not
less.
calling you a name unjustly. I'm saying
I've been called names.
I'm saying you lied.
I didn't lie.
You said
I did. I'm not saying I didn't do it.
All right, run back.
I said I did it again when that lady was getting amped up.
That's a clarification. And
somebody always do that. If somebody's getting amped up, I'm here to protect you, and I'm here to protect
before they were getting amped up.
But can I talk for a second?
No, you're playing that card because you want me to be quiet.
I'm not.
Before you were getting amped up, I was having a normal conversation.
I don't get amped up. You know me for 10 years.
I was having a normal conversation.
But you know me for 10 years.
A normal conversation. You stood directly in front of me, and I moved, and you moved to be direct.
I want to make sure that people are.
No one was amped up. They were being respectful. They were talking.
I've been respectful to you.
You guys amped it up more than any of us.
No, we don't.
Yes, you did. All right, so listen.
Yes, sir.
Someone assaulted me right in front of you.
property.
It's actually kind of nice.
Yes.
Right?
And you said you didn't want to do anything.
Well, I'm saying, when that happened, what did you do?
What was I pulled up?
What did you do?
This way. I went right here and
said, that's your job.
Exactly.
Right? Your job is not, when I'm having a conversation with someone, to stand between me and that person.
But I want to make sure you're
That's not your job. That's not what I'm paying you for.
I'm here to protect you and make sure you're not crossing our line. 'Cause I don't want to have to trespass
Officer Greenwood,
Yes, sir.
I'm saying your job is not to stand in between me and whoever I'm talking to.
Why not?
Because I was not doing any harm.
But why not?
I was not breaking any law.
What law is?
You are supposed to enforce the law.
What law am I breaking for standing in between a conversation to make sure?
I want to talk to your supervisor and know whether or not you, because I think
that he doesn't know the answer to that question. I think he does, but he's going to try to steamroll over it anyway. What law am I breaking? Oh, I don't know. Gosh, it's the first law of the land. What's it called? Oh, that's right. The First Amendment. We were freely speaking. We were engaging in free speech, and you stepped in the way and interrupted that.
You're using your authority.
What? How?
Yes, this officer is seriously asking how it's wrong for him to break up conversations with his badge and uniform.
You're dressed like a police officer.
I am, yes, sir.
Right? I'm trying to talk to somebody.
And I'm here to
They
make
know
sure
you.
you're
They probably
protected.
think you're probably the cool.
Oh, I've been here for a little bit.
I think I was in high school.
Yeah.
Right? So you got the respect, right? I'm talking to someone.
I mean, I'm not gaining it, but you've known me for a long time.
I have a lot to go off of.
I got you.
You don't have
I'm
my
not,
respect.
I mean, I'm like.
But what I'm saying,
I don't have your respect.
You do not.
Dang it, man.
But you don't care.
Yes, I do. I'm a happy person. You know that.
Okay.
You know me for 10 years.
Now I love you. I just don't respect
you. Don't.
I would take a bullet for you, Officer Greenwood. So what I'm saying is, when I'm talking to someone here,
yes.
and you,
and I see them elevating.
No, when you see them not elevated.
When do I not see them elevated?
When you see them not elevated.
No.
You did it
I
when
want
they
to make sure the engagement.
run back the tape.
Yes,
Just go ahead, take it out.
Looking for a reaction. That's why there's a camera.
It's like makes them feel bad.
Exactly.
And that's not good. That can cause them.
You don't think people should feel bad when they do bad things?
So you're giving them what they want, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, would you please stop interrupting me? When you see them not elevated,
Okay.
just having a conversation, then you shift and you stand right in front of me. And then when I try to get back to the conversation,
they're following
I'm
you,
saying,
right?
I'm
So
saying,
if-
I don't know if that's legal or illegal or if it's just a punk jerk thing to do.
So if they
But
wanted
that's what
to
you did.
engage with you, they would say, "Hey, Officer Greenwell, I'm talking with."
So
this
you
guy."
think, so you think that the teenager needs to tell the officer, please get out of my way? This is probably the most difficult it's ever been. We used to come out here a little more frequently, and the police had better training or something. Then they like kind of just.
But it was me.
No, I'm saying like 10 years ago. We were like a police officer standing over there with the principal, and the principal was like, do something about this.
Oh, yeah.
And the police was like, knew the law, knew what was going on, and he was like, no, I just got to watch and keep the peace.
That's what I was doing.
We didn't have any officers interrupting conversations or anything.
There you go.
All right.
How you doing?
Hey, thanks.
Ollie Jaffrey.
Jaffrey. All right, so you his supervisor,
Yeah.
high up.
Officer Jaffrey took our complaint and listened to what we had to say, so props to him for that.
I think that you guys get a bunch of crap on like YouTube, people filming some cop being bad in some place, and then it makes everybody dislike the cops. It's a massive. It's a side problem.
Profession, though, as you know this.
Sure.
You know, there's good and bad, but
It's a side problem that I would be concerned about. But we are going to show his behavior, and we're not doing it because we're trying to be mean to the Norman Police Department. But that guy, he acts like a punk, and he does it with a smile on his face.
But that's what's happening on every traffic stop. Every cop is acting like a punk, like a state agent, like a revenue generator who's out there to ruin lives because you didn't turn your turn signal on, your license plate light wasn't illuminated, your headlights are dim, you were going too fast, you were going too slow, you changed lanes when you really didn't. I mean, it's getting to the point where people feel like they have to have recorders on them, front facing, rear facing, cab facing dash cams just to get themselves out of trouble because you know they're going to make up a seatbelt violation when you were wearing your seatbelt. It's getting ridiculous.
And that's because he wants people to see him as a nice guy. He wants to appear as someone who is a force for good.
When the George Floyd incident happened, we all looked at that on the news and saw that that wasn't what law enforcement is about. To me, it felt as if the community was being unheard. That incident alone definitely opened up the eyes to a lot of law enforcement agencies that we do need change, and we're definitely wanting to come up with great ideas to figure out how to move forward.
If Greenwood is serious about
What a hypocrite.
wanting to make change and be a good influence in the community, perhaps he should start by not stifling the free exchange of ideas. Maybe he could also think about being a help to the innocent and helpless that are killed every day, instead of being a part of the culture that is holding their proverbial knee on those innocent children's helpless necks.
Sorry for putting a wrinkle in your day.
oh man, part of work.
Part of work. All right. Thanks, man.
Now, we're not trying to take advantage of our platform in order to bash the police or to stir up strife between us and the NPD. We are trying to show that actions like this cannot be tolerated by abolitionists.
Isn't it sad that you have to have a disclaimer like that? Hey, we're not trying to stir up strife. It's like we were just standing out there with our cameras and they committed the criminal activity. That's not you stirring anything up. That's you out there recording, trying to get your message across, and then the cops coming into the frame. You didn't make them create the criminal activity. They just went ahead and did it because that's what's in their hearts.
Or police departments across the country. Police simply cannot use their badge to give apparent orders to bystanders not to engage with free speech. Romans 13 says there to be a terror to evil and a rewarder of good, not a terror to free speech and a rewarder of silence. Civilians do this to us all the time.
Don't pay him no mind. He got sorry. Don't pay him no mind. Calm down enough to let me explain. That's kind of rude.
But it's an entirely different thing when an officer of the law who is perceived to carry authority with his words does the same thing. Look at it this way. What is a 16-year-old going to think when an officer interrupts a conversation and tells them to walk away? Will they understand that they have a right to continue the conversation, or will they perceive the assumed authority the officer has on the subject and be chilled away from the conversation? So while we will probably interact with Greenwood again,
and that's why it's evil, because the cop who knows that he has that perceived authority in the eyes of the masses and then proceeds anyway and takes advantage of somebody who's ignorant of what the law really is, that is the classic definition of abuse of authority. You're actually using your badge to intimidate and manipulate, and in this case, obfuscate.
Only will interact with the NPD again. We don't want this behavior to go undisciplined. Norman PD has assured us they are internally investigating this incident, so we'll see what happens. More than discipline, we want Greenwood to repent and turn to Christ and act.
Well, Greenwood needs to be fired, and because he violated rights, he should be sitting in a jail cell. That's how sensitized to individual rights we should be in America. Again, this channel is Abolitionist Rising. The name of the cop is Greenwood. The Norman Police Department Facebook page link will be in the description if you want to reach out to the Norman Police Department and let them know what you think about what you just saw in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my brand new channel, The Disturbing Illusion. It's where we expose the left versus right political dog and pony show circus under the Washington's District of Criminals Big Top. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list or my website, highimpactflix.com, and I will see you in the next video.